Hi there, John Hill from Ucidity, and at Ucidity we're a growth-based agency focusing on marketing and outbound sales. So the purpose of this video is for business owners to get a bit of a deeper dive into the state of play of how marketing and digital marketing is rolling out within Australia. And typically if you're a business that is dabbling in marketing, or maybe you're working, you've got some marketing going on in your business at the moment, and you want to get a real feel for how your marketing is actually performing and what's coming up next. So a lot of these findings are our interpretation of a report by Arctic Fox, which came out about mid-year, and we've essentially analyzed that report and looked at how is that transitioning towards the end of 2022 and how does it lead into 2023 as well. So in order to do that, let's just take a bit of a quick look at the state of play of marketing across the world. So look, big thing is that there's this de-identification of data. So what that means is that if for businesses that are rolling out digital strategies where they are maybe tracking specific people in the digital space, those sort of strategies are going to start to roll off. As an example, if you have seen those campaigns where you click on a website and then suddenly that website follows you all around the internet, the ability for those campaigns to do that is going to start to drop off. And what that really means is that as businesses, we have to look at new strategies to engage with our target market and be prepared that we're not going to be able to target specific people anymore. We're going to be able to target types of people. So as an example, CEO, rather than a specific person who's in a CEO role. So if you haven't done so already, engage with your marketing team or your agency just to get a better understanding of how they're going to actually deal with that. The next big state of play is TikTok. You've probably heard of TikTok. TikTok is going wild, and is going wild in surprisingly the age group of about 30 to 40. So what is actually happening is all the young ones have adopted TikTok very early. The older generation, if we want to call it that, is starting to adopt, one, out of curiosity, and two, because they're starting to get sucked into this whole TikTok world. And if you look at, say, where we were about 20 years ago when Facebook was just starting to hit the planet, probably just a little bit less than 20 years ago, a lot of young people were early adopters, and business owners were like, what is this social media thing? What's it all about? And why would I adopt it? But as we fast forward into, say, the mid sort of say about 2015, a lot of businesses started to use social media platforms as part of the digital marketing strategy. And it's now it's the norm to have some sort of social media presence. So what we're saying is have a look at TikTok. What we're not saying is that don't use that as your only digital marketing strategy. Have a experiment in it, see what you can do in that space. For some businesses, it's actually going to work quite well. For a lot of businesses, it's probably going to be a little bit of it's an interruptive type platform where you may have one or two specific videos that go wild. And we see it currently as more of a brand presence layer rather than actually getting business off TikTok. So if there's something out there where you want to have a bit of a different spin on how you do business, or some parts of your team, if you want to open up a bit more of that human side of your business, TikTok could be a good platform for that. But at minimum, check it out, see how it works, and work with your marketing team and agency to find out, could we do something on that platform. The big thing is content. As every year, this seems to get bigger and bigger, but content is becoming more important than ever. And specifically, Google laps up content. And look, the big thing we say around that is that your target market is always going to choose their own time and their own platform where they do their own research. So if you are in front of them, providing them answers to the questions that they have on the platform that they use, then surprise, surprise, they'll probably come knocking on your door. So if you're able to produce more content than your competitors and better content than your competitors, or at least be a big leader in that space, then people are going to see you as the expert in your field. And lastly, on the world space, is video is dominating. So big thing is that where you can produce more video, even like us, I mean, essentially right now I've set up my laptop with a webcam and a video recorder and producing content and a PowerPoint presentation. It's relatively easy to get started, but something as simple as this can provide a fantastic way for you to be able to reach your audience. And a tip, always have captions in your video as well. So let's shift to Australia. So look, in general, the report found that digital marketing progress is still slow. I built my first website in about 1995 or so. So I've been dabbling in it almost 30 years. And when we look at it, there's still a lot of businesses out there who struggle with digital marketing. And what we find, it's totally okay, but what we find is that there's probably the understanding is not there, so therefore the adoption is slower. So as an example, we come across businesses where their digital marketing strategy, for want of a better word, was written, say, 20 or 15 years ago, where it's something like, hey, we've got an email and we've got a website, so therefore we've got a digital marketing strategy. So that's the absolute minimum you need just to, I wouldn't call it a strategy, but it's digital presence. But businesses are struggling with this. So what I would say is that businesses who are first to get to market with an amazing digital experience will win, and you'll attract clients that are really suited to your business. A lot of industries we work with, say the manufacturing industry, a lot of those businesses really struggle with digital, and a lot of them are in a very similar situation. So what that means is that everyone's probably at the entry level of digital presence. What we say is the businesses who push out first and go to market first with an amazing digital experience are those who will lead the way and once again attract the right type of people to your business, whether it's people who want to partner with you, whether it's a PR layer, whether it's new customers, whatever it might be. You will then win that essentially a race. So if you are a business owner and you think your digital marketing might need a bit of a ramp up, that's, for us, that's something we love helping businesses with. And big thing is getting a proper overarching strategy that's current in 2022, 2023, running for your business so you're achieving your business goals. The next big thing is that with that whole marketing mix is that marketers really struggle with finding a balance of short-term and long-term goals for a business. So typically us as business owners will drive marketers to get short-term gains, new leads through the door, new exposure, whatever it might be. But what tends to happen is that is sacrificing your long-term marketing strategy. As an example, say Nike went to market and just had day-to-day campaigns trying to get sales of clothing. What would happen is that if they are not maintaining their brand and developing their brand, what would happen is other competitors, as an example, say Adidas or Adidas, however you pronounce it, would then start to push the boundaries and leave Nike behind. So there needs to be we need to give marketers space to be able to develop the long-term goals of the brand as well, and also to be able to get those short-term wins. And sometimes it's frustrating as business owners, but we have to give them that space. The next big thing is that there's a perceived business skill shortage within the marketing space as well. So what tends to happen is that businesses are looking at overseas or at least interstate to look at marketing resources. What we've found is that employees are really ruling the market at the moment, the recruiting market, and they're making unrealistic demands. So what's happening is that businesses are starting to look overseas to fill gaps in their marketing capability. And whilst that might give you some short-term goals, typically what we find is that that leads to a whole set of frustration, because especially overseas, they don't necessarily understand the culture, the drive of Australian business. There's communication issues. There's there's a whole bunch of issues that come up with working with someone outside of your region, to be able to produce exceptional marketing results for your business. So look, what we tend to find is that a mix is really good. So have someone in-house and then have either an agency filling in gaps. This is something we excel at, where we do work with businesses who have a marketing presence within their business, and we essentially tap into that marketing piece. We have weekly, bi-weekly meetings with the business to really get that marketing pushing forward, and a monthly proper ROI meeting with business owners so that they understand where the marketing's going, where it needs to be for the next step of their business, and how to push them into that next level of their business as well. So what we're saying there is, rather than looking interstate or overseas, have a look at a decent agency model that's going to give you that strategy and those gaps to be able to essentially for the cost of a new internal resource, you can get a whole marketing team, and that's why that model does actually work really well. And recently I was presenting at a CEO workshop specifically for CEOs, and pretty much everyone in the room had that mix where they have a marketing presence and then a whole agency providing the resources to support that marketing resource in their business. The next layer is from the report is there's a lack of training for in-house marketers. So marketing and digital marketing is moving at an incredibly fast pace, and what the report found was that business owners and CEOs are providing around $1,000 a year for training. What we know is that there's a lot of layers of digital. There's SEO, there's paid advertising. You've got different, you've got paid advertising on LinkedIn, paid advertising on Facebook, Instagram, Google Ads. All of these are very, very specialist skills. Plus there's the ability to produce brand pieces, to produce content, produce video, produce blogs, produce the collateral. There's a lot of different skills that are required for a marketing team to work effectively for a business, and $1,000 a year doesn't really cut it. So look, one of the solutions that we have found works really well, and something that we provide as well, is something like a marketing mastermind. So we created that specifically for businesses who maybe don't have tens of thousands of dollars a year to provide training every week for their marketing team, because marketing probably wants, they just want constant training because they love educating themselves. But one of the platforms we've created, and there's others out there as well, is a marketing mastermind platform where marketers can come to an agency where we are providing the knowledge, the skill set, keep that those marketing teams' resources up to date as to what's going on in the world, and what's really working, and what important pieces to focus on as well, and how it all fits together. So definitely that training can be fulfilled with relatively small budget as well. So there we go. That's the marketing state of play for 2023. Thank you again for watching, and keep an eye out for our next video. Thank you again.